Hello, Mama, and welcome to Parenting Collective. I am Donna Moala. I am a sleep specialist. I work with newborns up to 10-year-old children, but I love working with newborn families. I work with families one-on-one. I have so many fantastic resources when you become a new parent, and there is so much information out there that is so unregulated and just causes so much stress and anxiety. But I'm here to let you all know that we can absolutely create beautiful, nurturing, supportive, secure sleep foundations for our newborns. I work with families one-on-one throughout the world. I have so many amazing resources for you. So I have recorded a beautiful conversation with a beautiful mum who's just finished up her 3-week one-on-one package with her newborn, what was happening before we met and the outcome. So I hope you enjoy it as much as we did. And please reach out for your free 15-minute chat or any information at all that you'd like on your newborn adventure. Dani, my beautiful client, my beautiful mama of a newborn, thank you so much for hopping on, and we can talk about your experience. We've just finished up our 3 or 4 weeks together with your beautiful newborn Leighton.
Yes, thank you for joining me.
I'm so thrilled. What I want to do is just quickly share your experience, because working with newborns for me is just such a joy, and I don't get to do it that much because everyone's a little bit frightened. So I'd love to ask you, so when we met, Leighton was 10 weeks. So what I saw when you reached out was you were doing the best you could, as everybody does. She had reflux. She had all of these underlying things that you had to sort of get on top of. And the most incredible thing that you guys were doing, so yourself and your husband, Brendan, you were literally having her sleep on you 24 hours a day. So you had an owlet sock. You knew about the SIDS. You were doing the safety, because of course we know we're not supposed to do that, but you couldn't do anything else because she would scream her guts out. And you would take it in turns overnight to stay awake and let her sleep on you.
Yes, pretty much.
So tell me your journey. So you're amazing. And like I said, all mums try and do the best, and dads try and do the best they can. So you reached out. Tell me that journey of like actually knowing that you could, and then us meeting, and a little bit about the journey.
Yeah, so as you mentioned, the first couple of weeks have been quite rough because our baby didn't want to lay flat on her back. And every time we tried to put her in her bassinet to, sleep overnight or whatever, she will wake up after, a sleep cycle, and she will just pretty much scream for the rest of the night because of her reflux. So we just ended up giving up completely on the bassinet, moving on from it, and just slept with her on top of us, or like had her sleep on top of us for the first couple of weeks. And then one of my friends mentioned that she's had a call with you in the past before, and that you're really good. And so so I spoke to my husband, and Leighton started slowly improving with her reflux. She started showing signs that she was a bit more ready to lay horizontal, and she wasn't as uncomfortable as she was in the past. So then we decided to give you a call and see if you can help us. And the reason why I think ultimately I decided to use you and go with, a sleep consultant in general was I was just so frustrated at the internet, because the internet talks about all of these safe things to do, and yes, that's great, but it doesn't actually give you any guidance for parents who are in a battle of reflux or other things that babies struggle with. And so it made me just feel like a failure as a parent, because I was kind of like, well, I can't do any of this stuff, and I don't know what else to do. And so then I just thought, I'm just going to get a professional who knows what they're talking about to give me some guidance and show me and teach me how to get her comfortable in the bassinet and get her comfortable on her back. And so now 4 weeks later, our baby has pretty much been sleeping in her bassinet from the first day we started working together.
I know. A lot of work.
Yeah, you go.
Yeah, no, amazing. And that's, you explained it beautifully, is that it's really well and good if the things that is everywhere and so accessible to everyone on what to do with babies and baby sleep doesn't work for your baby, what
Yes.
do you do? And there's so thousands and thousands of mums like yourself that just feel like that's, if you hadn't somehow found me, and this is what we were saying yesterday because it was our final call, not final forever, of course, but final as in our time together in regards to sleep support, you would sadly be back in the same space, you know,
Yes.
and that to me is mind blowing. And that's why we've done wanted to have a quick chat to share you, because oh, it's exactly what needs to be done for mums and dads, but particularly mums, especially when you're breastfeeding and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And that there's this circle of like trying to get all this, this what's sort of on the treadmill, isn't it? I don't know how to explain it, of like trying to get answers to get a support, but then what it actually ends up done is making you feel like crap as a mother,
Mm,
that you can't help your baby. That doesn't help
yeah.
anyone.
Yeah, and the internet, I find, especially sleep related, in general, baby stuff related, but as a first time mum, I didn't have any information as to how to navigate these struggles. And the internet there's just so much information out there that,
Mm,
one person says this and then the other person says this, and then sleep
exactly.
related, follow this and follow that. And so it just makes you feel so overwhelmed and confused about what to do. So I
Mm,
find, going with someone like you who knows all of these things and have, training and experience and life experience,
mm,
you've really supported me in working and navigating through all of the struggles along the journey. And I find that was the biggest thing for me, was having you, and you having access to you all the time, and
mm.
being able to send you a message and say, hey Donna, this is what I'm struggling with, what do I do? And jumping on a phone call with you, and you just tell me to adjust things as we go. And it really has helped us to find that sweet spot, which
Yeah.
I'm very appreciative of.
Oh my gosh, it just makes me so excited. And, I wish I could deep dive into all that we went through. But when I start with any family, and like I said, newborns are one of my favorites, newborn families, and you said this yesterday because we had a great conversation, and you were kind of at a point of complete and utter exhaustion. In your mind, you thought, you just want dot points, Donna. Just tell me what I need to do. But I was like, let's just go with your parental instinct. And you were like, really? Like, can't you just tell me? But if you look back on reflection, it was a bit of both, really. It was like a little bit of quite a lot of guidance, but gentle guidance, but also a little trial and error, meaning
Yeah,
I'd suggest something, and like you said, you and your husband Brendan would go, oh, I don't know. And then you'd give it a
yeah,
go, like, oh, okay, that was okay. And that's the journey for all of the parents that I work with, but particularly with newborns, because for me, I don't know, I said this to you, duty of care for me is the most important thing. And duty of care meaning the safety of the baby. So again, you were in a situation that she would not lay down, like you said, you had like a post-traumatic stress of actually laying her down, because sometimes you'd lay her down and try and get lay down at the beginning of the night, and then she'd scream all night. You couldn't even get her in there, so you were even frightened to lay her down. So I had
yeah,
to support you to trust me enough to go, let's give it a little bit. But sometimes I'm a little bit, oh gosh, I hope that doesn't happen. But the thing is the trust that you had in me as well. But getting back to what you had to do, like I said, you literally had to set each other's alarms, and you sat there awake for the hours that was your shift, with her on there with an owlet, which the owlet is the very good for SIDS, the
yeah,
scary thought of them stopping breathing. And I love the owlet for that. I don't love the owlet for too much access to the sleep patterns of babies, but the
yes,
breathing part is just huge. So you did that
yeah,
with this utter safety. As a sleep specialist, I can never recommend co-sleeping or sleeping on you, but that's because I'm not there. But when we talk about it, like, you still did some co-sleeping. You still had to have a sleep on you. For me, I just said, okay, have the hour on, stay awake,
yeah,
and we had to work
yeah.
through it. So it's not cookie cutter, you know.
No,
And she was amazing. And the thing is, those first few days, yes, she was having time in the bassinet, but she still was having a lot of time on you.
yeah,
It wasn't like all of
yes.
a sudden put her in there and off we go.
Yeah, the first 2 nights, she, well, probably the first week actually was,
Yeah.
she would sleep majority of the night in her bassinet, but
Mhm.
then from about, 4 o'clock in the morning, she would wake up, and either my husband and I would just finish the rest of the morning with her on top of us, because
Mhm.
she kind of just had enough.
Yes.
But slowly, we started trialing again with your guidance and you reminding me every time we have a phone call saying like, put her back at 4 o'clock after her 4 o'clock feed and
Give it a
see what
go.
she does, you know, give it a go. And if she doesn't do it, then that's okay. Finish the rest of the sleep on you, but
Totally.
give it a go, you know. And it's just that encouragement from you that kept me going, okay, I need to try it and see what happens. And if it doesn't happen, then it's okay if I finish the rest of the sleep on top of me.
That's
And yeah, now she sleeps pretty much till 8 o'clock every morning. So.
And you were saying yesterday, and this is where I can't talk about it enough. And again, it's from all ages of kiddos. They get touched out, right? But because what happens is we're so want our babies to be okay, so we have them on us all the time, and it's okay, not okay for the parents, but what you're seeing already is she actually is starting to push off you a bit for sleep time. And like you said, so what ends up happening, everybody who might listen, who might have a newborn, is you get to enjoy motherhood better because you're having a rest and you can't wait for that little baby to wake up. Whereas you still obviously loved being a mum, you love her so much. But if you reflect back, you think you're not the same person. You weren't the same person as you were 4 weeks ago to now, and you can't wait to feed her at night and you can't wait for her to wake up. And it's just such a beautiful thing.
Yeah, 100%. I think, you know, for me, you know, postpartum is already quite hard and navigating that, especially as a first-time mum. But looking back, thinking about, oh, when did I start feeling like I'm really enjoying this baby? And it's probably about a month ago. And I think, you know, for me, I kind of now feel kind of sad because we're at the point now where she almost puts herself to sleep at night. So.
I know. It's so funny, isn't it? It's like my baby, where's my baby? Yeah.
Yeah, I just put her down and I give her a little bit of support by, you know, rubbing her belly or whatever, but I don't need to rock her anymore. And sometimes she does need that, but most of the time she actually wants to be put down and she doesn't need you to hold her. So yeah, I'm excited to feed her at night when she wakes up or in the mornings when I go and get her and she gives me a smile because she had good sleep. And it just makes me feel like I've got a nervous system reset as well because I don't have a baby on me 24/7.
That's right.
So I feel like I've got the ability to have good night's sleep and just have that little bit of time with my husband as well at night. You know, we have dinner together. And and so these small things you don't think makes a big difference, but it actually really does make a huge difference in the postpartum recovery and experience of a newborn.
Yeah. And the thing is, for me, oh, look, you've got to know me enough how passionate I am about helping families. And I just, it's one by one, but if I just think how many other mums are out there like yourselves, and then you have spread the word in your little mothers group in the area that you live in Perth. So I'm helping two of your friends and, the other friend they're having such success, and we've started with the third friend, and I'm just the passion has been reignited. Not that it was never there, but it's really hard to tap into the newborn parents because it's a tough time and you're already overwhelmed with so much information. It's very hard for me to say, hey, I can help you with your sleep. So that's why I was like, if you're okay, can we chat about it today? Because, in a month's time, say something might happen, you've still got me. This is why I love meeting my families at newborns. I'm like, you can have me to you're 18, I'm always here for you. And so everyone then worries about the progressions. And I'm like, don't worry about it. But when things like now she's mastering that skill, she might have some hiccups. You're going to contact me. What's going on?
Yeah.
I'll talk about wake windows, or what happens, I'll just ask a few questions and then you'll adjust and then she'll get back on track. And that's the joy that I have for all of these years. It's not that I work with you now and then off, you never hear from me again. It's like a community that I've built, and I'm here for you. And I'm so excited and I'm so thrilled that you get to enjoy motherhood even more.
Thank you. And I think if I can give one piece of advice or encouragement, and that's why I said to my friends from the mothers group, is the internet tells us that newborns are too small to have sleep support, or I don't want to call it sleep training as such, because sleep training is such a big word.
It is.
But when you go on the internet, it's like you can't do anything sleep wise with a newborn until they're at least 12 weeks old, or and it's just not the case. And you can have so much support before that. And for
Yes.
me, when when we had our first phone call, I said to you, I don't want to wait till the 4-month mark hits
I
and we
know.
go through that
Yeah.
regression, and then it's possibly 10 times harder. I want to start before and put good foundations in for myself and for my baby.
Yeah.
And that's when I when I spoke to my friends from the mothers group, when they told me that they were struggling, I just encouraged them and said,
I know.
don't wait, just
I love
have
that.
the help and support. And they're so happy that they also
Oh,
decided to.
I'm always so grateful. I think I'll be grateful to, I think I'll be doing this till my last day on earth, honestly. And I get more and more excited, because life is really complicated and stressful and way more overwhelming than it was 5, 10 years ago. And if we can just come back to human biology, makeup of humans, we need
Mm,
connection. We need to understand that our kids, our babies can master these incredible skills. I don't want to call it sleep training at all, but can't you think of like potty training? You have to do that, otherwise they're going to wee and poo everywhere, aren't they?
yeah,
So I don't like using that word because it's got such negative connotations attached to it,
yeah,
but it is creating beautiful sleep foundations.
yeah,
Isn't it?
100%. And if you do it consistently, then I think you see the results like we are starting to see now, 4 weeks later, where our baby is mastering the skill of putting herself to sleep
Sleeping.
and soothing herself. So yeah, it's just such a great experience, and so grateful to you.
Oh my goodness, I'm so grateful for you. And the other thing with this too is there are going to be ups and downs, like I said, and hiccups. It's not peachy perfect. It's not, that's right. I keep trying to say to everybody, and I would have said to you, this is great. And you're like, okay, then, and then we might have a rough night and she might have woken 20 times. I'm like, okay, that's really normal. Let's assess that. And I think it's just surrendering to the fact of normal behavior. Now, the normal behavior is yes, ups and downs, but if we can master that beautiful independently going down, then everything keeps flowing through illnesses, whatever. And that's again reaching out to me. But it is just such a beautiful thing that babies are missing out on and
Mm,
parents are missing out on because of all of this negative talk. And I just, the more one-on-one we can spread the word. And thank you so
yeah,
much for being brave enough to, reach out to then trust me. Like I said to you, it's not just you were saying how grateful you are, and I'm not, I'm so grateful for you because if I can have someone who wasn't so open to change, it would be very difficult. And that's no judgment if a mother felt that they didn't want to do that. I'm not saying that. This is never having a go at anybody else who might not want to do it.
mm,
But the joy of a rested mother, for me, you can take on the world, don't you think, when there's
yeah.
a little bit more sleep and that enjoyment of motherhood?
Yeah, everything feels so much easier when you've had good sleep. And
Yeah,
sometimes good sleep means 4 stretches of 2 hours because your
totally.
baby wakes up every 2 hours. It doesn't
Totally.
necessarily mean good sleep is 8 hours, because with a newborn, that's very rare.
And we're
But
not looking at that, yeah.
um, you wake up in the morning and you've had 3 stretches of 3 hours.
Yeah.
That's still a lot. It's a
It
lot of
is
sleep for you. And I just find the world feels easier. Every challenge
yeah,
that you face with your baby is feels easier.
so much
Where
easier.
if you've had nights where you didn't sleep very well and you're tired, everything just feels so much harder
So
and
much harder.
challenging. So sleep makes such a
It
big
really
difference.
does. And then on the back of that, right, is yes, you have those nights, and we might focus on the nights, but when you've got a newborn or a baby and they're on you all day and you can't hardly go to the toilet, you can't have a shower, you can't eat, the combination of the day and night, and then you're breastfeeding, so the baby's sucking on your breasts all day, it's a lot for a human.
Yeah,
And, on reflection, you've had so much amazing progress, and it will only get better, and there'll be ups and downs. But the reality is, even sort of our last week, she wasn't doing a lot of the, she'd sort of reverted to not wanting to sleep in the bassinet again during the day. And I said to you, don't worry about it. Okay, let's do one or two short ones in there and then have one on you. So I think the biggest thing I want to get across is it can be better than what it is if it's feeling stressful, number one, and every child's different, but you can have time when the baby's not on you. So, if
yeah,
you're in the day having 5 30-minute naps, that's 30 minutes every few hours that you're having a bit of a break,
yeah.
and that's important.
Yeah, for sure. And like even this morning, I was putting my baby down for her first nap in her cot, in her own room, kind of just practicing. And yeah, she had just over, I think, just under 40 minutes in there.
Amazing.
And I was able to make myself another coffee and, clean the kitchen and just do things that is kind of like just me time, if I wash my face and all of those things. And it just makes your day feels so much better than having a baby on you. And the first couple of weeks as well, I was saying to my friends, I've mastered going to the toilet with a baby in my hands.
I know. Isn't that crazy? And you sure will. And again, if people are feeling happy with whatever's going in there, if they hear this and they're like, oh, feeling a bit uneasy, this is not the conversation. We're not ever making anyone feel uneasy. If they are so happy with everything they're doing, like I said to you many times, if someone makes you feel yucky, anxious, whatever, either stop listening, just grin if it's an actual human, and just do what makes you feel happy. That is the biggest thing, isn't it? And the thing is, I think, like, again, any mother growing a human, which most of us have to do, and pushing it out, cutting it out, healing, breastfeeding if you want to, it's so much of a change for our bodies, and we are allowed to be able to have a rest. We're allowed to have a break where you can go to the toilet without your baby attached to you, one-handed.
Yes, 100%. And it always in such a short period of time too. So you kind of, you adjust so quickly. So we need that time to just reset. And like I said to you, often it's for us a nervous system reset as well, not having a baby attached to us, and we get touched out as well. And so for us, it's also, as a mum, it's nice to be able to put my baby down and now being excited to go pick her up again. And it's just so lovely.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being so brave to come and do this as well, because not everyone's comfortable doing it. But I just was so excited with, like I said, the reignite. I don't do many newborns over the year because people are so worried. But if we've got someone like yourself to share their story, and then, we've got your two friends doing it, and it's just that's the way we can get through to beautiful mums out there that might be struggling, that think that this is not achievable. I think your case, but when I don't sort of rank people on where they're at, but what you were doing as mum and dads was just so selfless, to be taking in turns, to have her all night, and you were doing it, and you would have continued doing it. But the thing is, if someone like your family can get to the place that you are, where you were, is quite a miracle, I think. I love it. Love it for you.
No, I didn't know what this would look like 4 weeks down the track. And if anything, the day when we had our first phone call, I thought to myself, 3 weeks or 4 weeks is not nearly enough. But yesterday was our last phone call, and I just remembered over the weekend thinking, I think I'm okay. Like I'm okay having this last phone call. And yes, it's nice to have you as support, but it was just nice to know, okay, we've had 3 or 4 weeks of hard work, and I'm now equipped to handle this and navigate through this. Which I didn't have 4 weeks ago.
No, exactly. So. And like you said, and I've already said in here, is like, I think what I really want for mums is to bring back to have their own mother instinct, because, that sort of please tell me what to do is a little bit of the world that we live in. We want answers. We want it fixed. Excuse me. And so we're all living like that. So I'm sort of old school of thinking, I'm not going to do it for you. I'm here for you 100% of the way, but I want you to feel exactly how you just explained, empowered. And she's my baby, and I love her, and I feel really confident with what I've been able to support, learn, but also support her with, because that's, you will have me for the rest of your life if you want, but it's more about you because you're her mum.
Yeah, and just one more thing that I think was one of the biggest things that I took out of this 4 weeks is just not putting my baby in like a box or a set schedule. Again, the internet tells us, oh, your baby has to wake up at 7 and needs to go to bed at this time, and you need this amount of time, and then resettle and change and feed, and then you need to put them down for a nap at this time. And it's kind of, life just gets in the way. And so I found, but again, before I started with you, I was like, oh, but she won't be home for her nap if I go and have a coffee with my friend. So I'm just not going to go for coffee. And it's kind of like you've taught me that it's okay to, adjust and feel the confidence to adjust her schedule as I go, and feeling that, like, again, being equipped to go, okay, she has had a bit of a shorter nap here, maybe we'll try and go for a longer nap to try and get her back on track, and not feel so, like, scheduled, my whole day is scheduled and she's in the schedule, because every baby is different and every day is different. And it just depends on what kind of, she goes through growth spurts, and she has all of those in between as well. And so it's just too hard to try and put a one size fit all to your baby, because it just doesn't work. So that was one of the things that I take from, working with you, is having that confidence to go, let her sleep in today, let her sleep an hour later because she had an hour later bedtime, or I know she woke up quite frequently last night, so she's probably needs that extra hour, and that's okay. Even though the internet tells me my daughter has to wake up at 7 o'clock every morning, I don't do that. I'm like, I let her sleep to 8 o'clock, and usually 8 o'clock every morning she wakes up. So yeah, it's just nice to again have that confidence and be flexible with my baby and trust her and trust my instincts, and not go off what the internet tells me is normal or not normal.
So what I say to everyone when we finish up, I am if you need anything around sleep, parenting, or anything, Google me. I'm your Google. Message me, tell me, ask me anything, because, I love getting to know my families, and it ends up being like a friendship in the community, because I want the best for you and your family, and that every single family I work with, I feel exactly the same, and that hasn't changed. I don't think it's ever going to change. I just feel such joy that I'm here to be able to go through everything I've been through, but also, I've done the study, I've done the research, continue to, with lived experience, and then that it works. I'm like the light at the end of the tunnel. I didn't have that. I was like, is it a train or is it the light at the end of the tunnel? I don't know. But I want to be the light. So yeah.
Now, you've been amazing. Thank you, Donna. I really appreciate all of the work that you've put in and the support you've provided to us.
You guys too. Like I said, it's not just me. So thank you so much. And I will see you soon. I'll speak to you soon. And thank you for sharing your story.
No worries. Have a great day.
Bye.
See ya.